Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the Pacific Northwest in that wonderful little Hickville town of Belfair, Washington. Yes, I do love where I live and I call it Hickville, USA because it is tiny, it's rural. I've lived here an extremely long time. And guys, when I first moved here, there was a stop sign. There was not even a flashing light. Now we do have two street lights. But yeah, it's rural. It's growing exponentially, but it is still, I remember it fondly. So welcome to my channel, everybody. This is my October 2025 Paper Pumpkin Alternative video number 2. So we are currently working with the October 2025's Cozy Christmas Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I do love it. I would say the colors are very, the neutral, the pecan pie colors. So I got to do some changes to these color choices in here. I would say it's very reminiscent of like the 1950s kind of colors and style as far as the stamp. We didn't wait till you see the stamp set. So you don't have like a big stamp to make a big background. But anyways, with that being said, let's go back. You can make 3 designs. So you have 3 of this one, 3 of this one, 3 of this one, and it will equal 9 cards. The envelopes are all the same, which thank goodness they are pattern paper. I wish they were more festive pattern paper, but we always want more than we have, right? And try to be thankful for what we have. We have bling, so I am very thankful for that. So this QR code, as always, would lead you to a video that would show you how to put this kit together as it is designed. The visual of everything in the kit here, it says contains supplies for 9 cards, 9 envelopes. The coordinating colors, short list. But don't worry, you can bring other colors into this, and I am going to do that today. Basic beige, cherry cobbler, garden green, pecan pie, and real red. This is a set of 6 dies called the Abundant Joy dies, and this QR code would lead you to them. They will coordinate with October, November, and December's paper pumpkin cut. Yes, and the stamps. This is what I meant by there's not like a big background stamp. So you have this 3 little stars, this big, well, this solid star. Deck the halls, to the world, joy, and Merry Christmas. And the Merry Christmas is fabulous. Yes, fabulous. So I'm going to set that aside. As this is still not past video number 5, I'm going to share with you everything that comes in the kit. So let's get started with that. We have a pecan pie. I know, pecan pie. Our second one, right? So, and then we got tear tape, we got bling, we have glue dots, and we have dimensionals. And I'm keeping those in their packages until we are done. So we have the ornament and the stars for... The star was meant to go with the tree. This is the ornament. So this is the ornament top of the ornament. And hold on. I've got some pieces here I don't want to fall off. So on this sheet here, this piece goes underneath here. And when you put it on there, you get this. I've already done that. And then the tree is these 3 pieces. Now these 2 pieces go here with the joy. And I've put my joy together. And so you have one going this way behind here and one going this way. And then you have your little bling, and that would complete the ensemble for the joy to the world. Now my to the world is stamped in garden green because I was not stamping it in pecan pie. There is just no way. I did use the red star. I put a gold dot in the center of it, and it did make a big difference. So the joys, now this was a little funny. So this piece of ephemera goes with the Christmas bauble. But now the joy, you get 4 of these pieces, of this piece. You get 4 of those, but only 3 sets of letters. I'm still trying to figure out something to do with the 4th one. So there's that. So I'm going to put these aside now. And we're going to look, we have sentiment strips. So we have these 4 ones. We're going to use this one. This is for Deck the Halls. These are for the big Merry Christmas. And then let's look at our cardstock. So this is a better look at our envelope. We are cutting one up. I already have it cut to the measurements I need, but we're going to cut this one up to show you how to cut it apart. If you are new and you haven't seen me do that before, you have 3 of these with the ticket corner punched in the side. You have 3 of this card base, front and back, which is always nice. I mean, I have to say that. It's just not a card front piece, it's an entire card. There are some kits that just give you a sheet of cardstock. We have the garden green with its little trees on there to mimic the Christmas tree. We have this element here, which is just blank as far as I'm concerned, two combined. So then we have a card base that matches our envelope pattern here. Just a little bit smaller, but it matches our envelope pattern. And we have these pieces of ephemera which match the envelope flap of our kit. So that's all for our pieces. And I do have, what am I going to share with you that I'm bringing in? Oh, I'm bringing in DSP from, I'm going to just lost the packet, from St. Nick, Tidings of St. Nick. Where did you go to? That's not it, not it, not it. There it is. It's underneath some paper. Give me a second. I've been pulling stuff out. So do you guys remember this is the flocked vellum? Anyways, this really pretty, right? I've been looking at stuff. So this is the DSP I am using today. So this is Traditions of St. Nick. I'm going to be using a piece of that. This with the little stockings. And, oops, let me put that down. So where's my envelope? Here we go. So we're going to cut that envelope apart. So I have a white card base 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4 and a white envelope. Layer number 1, you can see all my pieces here, is the envelope front, and I'm going to cut this apart in a minute, but this measures 4 1/4 by 5.5. That's to cover the card base. Layer number 2 is 3 3/4 by 5. Now, if you're wondering what color is this, wild wheat. I told you you could bring in other colors, wild wheat, and that's because these little stockings are wild wheat, and I just wanted to show you that you can use other colors. This is that Tidings of St. Nick DSP, and this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. We're going to use the little rectangle from the kit, and we're going to use these 3 little trees that I die cut from some wild wheat, and this is from a die that the wonderful Phyllis gave me, and it cut 3 Christmas trees, the perfect size that I needed, all at one time. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to share with you how I cut my envelopes up. Now you can do this on the paper trimmer or a guillotine like I am, but I like to, if you are going to use a paper trimmer, turn it this way. Let me just show you. If you're going to use the trimmer, nope. I don't know why I do that sometimes, but I do. If you're going to use the paper trimmer, I would do it this way. I would put this in here, and you're going to feel that fold, that score line kind of lock into place. I would put that in there and then cut. I like to use my guillotine, everybody. I just do. I like the fact that my paper can lay over the side. I take a chomp. This can go back into the box of goodies. Now I'm going to turn my envelope. It doesn't matter if I use the opening side or the bottom side. It does not matter. I'm going to take a hair off of that side. Here we'll put it the other way. And take a hair off of that as well. Because we're just opening it up is all. Just open it up like that. Then I can put this in and chomp. So this is what I cut it from, but these I'm going to set aside because I've already got my layers cut down. So let me get, yes, the heater's on. the glue is in the armpit because it's cold. It just is. And the stamp in Pierce Matte has, nope, it didn't go in my, not yet. If you're wondering, you can use your label as your stamp off your smushy business. I'm going to get a little piece of scratch paper here because I have not used Deck the Halls yet. Oh, I'm doing it in real white. Oh, I did get that out for a reason, but for right now, I'm going to do this in Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler, I could do Mossy Meadow. Do I want to do? No, I don't want to bring another green. I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler from the DSP. I'm going to stick with what I originally pulled it out. So Cherry Cobbler it is. I'm going to do it one more time. I want something that you're going to see. And I do need to remove that because I just can't see to line it up. Deck the halls. And we're decking the halls with stockings, right? We decked the windows last year with the stockings that came in the paper pumpkin kit. I think it was November's kit. There we go. So we're going to get our stamping done. So there's that. We can bring this little piece back. And the little threesome here, we're going to do in the wild wheat. So we got to do the smushy. Ooh, that's really pretty. Really pretty green. So we're going to do one there. One there. Just a little bit of something on there. And let's go ahead and do our envelope. So we're just going to set the 3 there. I'm going to turn it around. You know what? We're just going to put it like that. I'm doing real simple here. Oh, no, I'm not. I just can't. So I'm going to go ahead and use Merry Christmas on the front, but not the one from the kit. This is from that Christmas gifting kit. So with the deer, I think this is going to, because I pulled it out, this one, it had the deer, the tree, and the stars. I'm really liking this Merry Christmas. It might be my go-to for a while. So we're going to stamp this in the Cherry Cobbler right here. That's a really pretty Merry Christmas. So I'm going to now set that aside. We want to stamp the inside. The inside, I'm wondering if I do, no. We're just going to stamp Merry Christmas. We're going to go really simple. I did use this already, so we're going to move the wild wheat, bring back the Cherry Cobbler. There is something on in between the 2 R's. I can see it this way, but I can't see it that way. All right, wild wheat. Again, I think we're going to do a little bit of texturing on there. I just kind of have a feeling. So we're going to do the stars just like that. So card base check, done. I'm going to do this on the back side. I'm looking for my little smushy. And I want my itty bitty background stamp. Yeah, you guys were thinking, oh, I wonder if she's going to do that. Yes, I'm going to first try the little snowfall one and see if I like it. The answer is I really do like that. So I'm not going to go any further. So I am just going to stamp that like that. I want a particular snowflake there, little one there. That is really cute, those little circles. So it's really subtle. So start at the bottom and then move up. That's perfect. I also can add a little bit of snowfall. Oh, that one's perfect. Don't need to do another thing. A little bit of the, pardon me. I feel like there's something in my throat. A little bit of this pearlized enamel basics. I might try to add a little bit of this to that when we're all done. So now we can put our card together. Real simple design. I would call this, I would say this would be a casual stamping card because it's literally just paper. Well, you could also call it an avid because we have layers of, we're going to call it an avid card. We have layers of cardstock and DSP. We have die cuts. And so this could be considered an avid. I would say it's right on the cusp of casual and avid if you are wondering. Not that anybody really is, but I would say it's on the cusp of the two. So we're going to take that envelope flap, or the front of the envelope rather, and we are going to use it as layer number 1, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I do have all of the measurements in the description part of the video. Now, in the description part of the video, it'll put 3 trees, your choice, because of course you may not have the very same die that I have. Mine was a gift, and I love that, and I love using it. So layer number 3 is going to get glued to layer number 2. Layer number 2 is 3 3/4 by 5. Layer number 3 is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I wanted a little bit more of a border around layers 1 and 2, so you actually saw the envelope pattern. And there is a pattern there. I would say it's about like a linen print. So just like that is all we're doing. Oh, you guys are going to laugh. So Mr. Hank tried to get away with telling his mom that he didn't know the rules for school. That you couldn't have listen to music on your cell phone at PE, which is such a bunch of baloney. And so he was sent to the office because he was trying to pull what he saw some other kids pulling is all he was doing. He's being a typical preteen and teenager, pull these kind of stunts. Children are allowed to have their cell phones, but they must have their cell phones in their lockers and leave them there. Hank decided he was going to be like some other kids who had their cell phones, trying to get away with his earbuds. His earbuds are blue. You can see them. He does not have like long hair to cover this thing. His ears, there was no way he was getting away with it. So, principal, my daughter's day off, calls her up. She's like, I will be right there. She goes off. She's, give me that thing. Give me the headphones. Give me the cell phone. You have now lost it. And he says, well, I didn't know the rules. How can I get in trouble if I didn't know the rules? She's like, oh, you knew the rules. You knew the rules. You knew you were breaking the rules. You were just trying to get away with breaking the rules. And she reads him the riot act. And she comes home and she's like, Mom, I left there and he had tears in his eyes. And I said, well, he's going to learn his lesson, right? She's like, yes, but I feel so bad right now. I'm like, don't. This is a lesson learned. I'm going to just bump this up. I do not want this on anything. I don't want it up on dimensionals. Anyway, so she, so funny. So when he came home, because this happened yesterday, when he came home from school, so I'm going to do it about 7/8 of an inch. When he came home from school, he literally told her, I was so afraid. I was afraid I was going to come home and I wouldn't have anything, because he has come home and he loses stuff. He gets in trouble. There are consequences for your actions. I am living proof of that. Even as an adult, there are consequences for your actions. You have to pay the piper. Anyways, he came home and he was just like terrified, apparently, that he was coming home to absolutely nothing. But he didn't. She's like, no, Hank, I took it away. I already did it in the office. I took it from you. You know, lesson learned. Oh, he was funny. I don't think she was not happy for having to go down there to go over this. And calling him out on his BS there. But she did. She did a good job. So now that that's just bumped up a little bit, we are going to position our trees around this. So I was thinking, nope, that's not going to work. Oh, yes, that little nook in this tree is going to be, but then you can't see my star. That's okay. Maybe we'll move it. Maybe I'll put the tree farther down. We'll have to see here in a minute. Now I just have to maneuver it. I like my little stars. So I don't want to... This one can probably go in front. Yes, and this one... Well, that one you may not see, but I'll put this one off to the side. We'll bring this one farther in a little bit like that. And this one we'll bring down here. No, we're going to bring it down and set this one here. Okay, so that's going to be our position. We have to have a look-see to see what's going on. So this one, bring all the way down to the bottom. But yes, kids will push their limits and you have to push them back over that line they crossed. And trust me, Hank pushes our limits all the time. He is funny, though. Oh, and I was telling you guys how Hank was teaching me how to play chess. Well, I tell you what. Hank had to have a few lessons on how to play chess from his own mother. And Justice was like, Mom, I can't believe you never played chess. I said, when did I ever play that game with you kids? Never. Ever, ever, ever. And she's like, you're right. She's like, you never played. I said, no, I wouldn't have played it with you because... It's just not in my wheelhouse there, honey. Sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that's not in my wheelhouse. So Hank had us moving the little horse dude, the little knight. He had us moving that 8 spaces. Well, because it says you can, and we were moving it in the shape of an L, right? But you could only move it 4 spaces, but he can move in a configuration of L, 8 for this way or for this way, and that does equal 8. He just had us doing it all at the same time. And so she was playing and she's like, what rules are you all playing under? I said, I don't know. Ask your son. He's teaching me. She's like, no, no, no. This is so not right. And Hank's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. She's like, no. Let's Google this. So AI came into defense of my daughter and not the son. Not her son. That was funny. So I have learned a few things about chess. Am I like ecstatic over it? No, it's not my favorite game. I'm still need to look up Stratego. So anyways, I thought you guys would get a kick out of that one. Yes, we were moving. We had everything else right. We just weren't moving the knight correctly. So now we do. Now we know the knight can only move 4 spaces, but he can move, 4 spaces this way or 4 spaces this way, any configuration of that L. So we're working on that. I'll have to play him again tonight. I told my daughter, I said, no wonder why our games lasted less than 5 minutes. I thought it was just because I was such a poor player at this. She was like, oh, no. And I said, Justice, I said, my brother could play chess, but that's not something him and I played together. So anyways, that was interesting to say the least. I think I'm going to use the same little scrap piece here. Make a little wedge for my tree. Why? Because I can. That's always why you can do something right. Hank tried, but he couldn't get away with the phone business there, listening to music during PE. That did not work out well for him. He tried. Oops. It just didn't work out for him. And it shouldn't work out. I know kids, especially preteens and teenagers, they are going to push their limits. Okay, we're going to put this one over to the side here. Now we can decorate. So cute, simple little card. Probably should have bumped. Will that come up? Will it come up? I do want to stick that up. I just can't leave it. I can't. Sorry, guys. Just not in my wheelhouse there to do so. Oops. Might help if I take the cap off. And then I asked Hank, I'm like, Hank, do you have any ideas? I said, not that you get everything you wish for Christmas, but I would like some idea of something to get you. I'm trying to see which one needs to have the glue on it for Christmas. And he is so sweet. He says, Mudgy, you guys always get me the best gifts. And I'm thinking to myself, he thought a desk was a great gift because that's what he got last year. So I have no idea. He has a very tiny room. I'm really stumped as to what to get him that he will think is a great gift. I have no idea. So let's go ahead. We have everything stamped. Merry Christmas. We could use the bling. See, this is why I don't do past 5, because these I think are just too big. We could do 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna I have some really tiny little pearls. I could, oh yes. Okay, give me a sec. Let's see this. We could either use these pearlized enamel effects if I could get it really small. Okay, we're gonna try this. If this doesn't look right, please don't, like, I want it to look like little small little falling snow on my tree. Oops, that's a little big. Maybe I make them bigger. Everywhere where I stamped that little snow stamp is where I'm putting the little dots. And then for here and here, I guess we could just go with this. Let's do a bigger dot though. That's nice. We're going to do a little one right in there. Why? Because we can. So there we have it. Deck the halls. It's time for Christmas. Almost. We got to do Thanksgiving first. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you like this. I hope some of you have some of this DSP still. I think it goes really well with this envelope. And hope to see you all again here soon in my Wonderland. I have one more card I am working on. Let me try to get the finishing touches on it, and I can make that video today too. Bye-bye for now, everyone.